The story begins in the future with a girl named Emma who lives in an orphanage called Gracefield House. The orphanage is run by a woman whom all the children call Mom. Emma is now 15 years old, so she helps take care of the younger kids. She also has two close friends named Norman and Ray. Every day after studying, all the children go to the garden and play together. But there is one strict rule. No child is allowed to go outside the orphanage gate. All the children also have a number tattooed on their necks, which serves as their identification. When a child turns 16, they're sent away from the orphanage. One day, a little girl named Connie gets adopted. All the children say goodbye to her, excited about seeing the outside world someday. Emma and Norman promise that they will write letters to each other. After the hall becomes empty, Emma notices that Connie forgot her favorite toy rabbit. Ray tells her that the gate light is still on, so Emma should quickly return the toy to Connie. Norman tries to stop her, but when he sees Emma looking sad, he agrees to go with her. Emma and Norman run toward the gate. When they arrive, the place is completely quiet and only a truck is parked there. Emma slowly moves the curtain of the truck to look inside, but in shock, she drops the toy rabbit from her hand. Norman becomes scared when he sees Connie lying unconscious inside the truck. A strange flower is coming out of her chest. Suddenly, they hear voices, so both of them quickly hide under the truck. From there, they see terrifying monsters standing nearby. The monsters call the orphanage a farm and talk about the children as if they are food. At that moment, Mom arrives there. Emma is completely shocked when she realizes that Mom is selling the children to those monsters. One monster starts smelling around the truck, but the only thing it finds is Connie's toy rabbit. By that time, Emma and Norman have already run away. The next day, Emma tries to smile like usual, but inside she is full of fear and anger. Now she understands the truth. This place is not a home, and she also understands the real reason behind all the strict rules. Emma and Norman go beyond the garden, but when they see the huge wall surrounding the orphanage, they feel discouraged. They realize escaping won't be easy. Still, they decide that they must escape before the monsters return. However, they don't want to leave any of the children behind. Norman says they will tell everyone the truth once they have a proper plan. Just then, a girl starts crying because her friend has gone missing somewhere in the forest. Mom takes out a strange device and walks straight into the forest. After a short while, she comes back carrying the lost girl in her arms. Emma immediately understands that the device shows the children's location. Norman explains that the kids must have trackers in their ears. That means Mom probably saw them crossing the fence earlier and only showed the device to scare them. Suspicious, Ray secretly follows Emma and Norman into the forest. There, they tell him the entire truth. Ray also agrees to help them escape. But taking everyone with them will be very risky because no one knows what the outside world is like. There might be monsters out there too. The three of them decide to find out the truth first. They begin searching through books in a library that were sent by a person named William Minerva. With Phil's help, they discover that the stamps printed on the books are actually some kind of code, and every book has a different code. Ray also realizes that the monsters care about the children's brains. That's why Mom makes them study so much. That afternoon, Mom introduces everyone to her new assistant, Sister Crone. Later, Mom tells her that 3 children have already discovered the truth. Crone becomes nervous, but Mom tells her they only need to keep a close watch on them until the next shipment. The next day, Emma and her friends start secretly training the younger kids under the excuse of playing games. But then Crone suddenly arrives and insists on joining the game. Emma tells Norman that this is the perfect chance to keep an eye on the enemy. What they don't know is that Crone also has her own secret plan. She wants to reveal the truth about Gracefield to the higher authorities and replace Mom. But she soon realizes that these children are far from ordinary. A few days later, Norman starts suspecting that someone among the kids is a spy. He tells Don the truth, but Don doesn't believe Emma and Norman. In anger, he even punches Ray. However, Gilda trusts Emma and helps calm Don down. Then Norman tells Emma and Ray that he secretly hid 2 different ropes in 2 different places. The next day, Norman shocks everyone by saying that the real location was changed and that the real spy is Ray. Ray admits it himself. He He reveals that years ago, after discovering the truth, he offered to become Mom's spy. In return, Mom promised that she would keep him in the orphanage until he turned 16 and bring him things from the outside world. Everyone becomes angry at Ray, but Norman notices something important. The real rope is still in its original place. That means Ray never told Mom everything. Ray says he doesn't want to lose his friends. He explains that he had already planned to become a double agent. It was actually Ray who stole Connie's toy so that Emma and Norman could discover the truth. He also says that he has seen the trackers placed in their ears and knows how to disable them. Hearing all this, Emma forgives him. After that, Ray takes Norman and shows him everything he has secretly hidden underground. There, Ray once again tells Norman that taking all the children with them would be too dangerous. He suggests that Norman should convince Emma that everyone will escape together. But Norman refuses. He says that he cares about Emma and doesn't want to make her sad. Later, Ray tells Mom that Norman is planning to poison her. Mom seems impressed and tells Ray that the next shipment will happen when Ray turns 16. Meanwhile, Donna and Gilda also become part of the escape plan. Soon after, Sister Crone approaches them with a proposal. She shows them the tattoo on her neck and a deep scar on her chest where her tracker used to be. She explains that if she ever tries to leave the farm, the tracker will kill her within seconds. That's why she wants to use this chance to remove Mom from her position. She also reveals that Mom's real name is Isabella and that this place is called Unit 3. Crone says that if they want to know more, they should meet her tonight. Emma still doesn't trust her, so she warns everyone to stay alert before going to meet her. Inside Crone's room, Crone explains that she has never seen the outside world herself. Long ago, after a long war between humans and demons, both sides agreed to divide the world. As part of the deal, some humans were left behind so the demons could use them as food. But when the children leave without giving her any solid information against Mom, Crone becomes very angry. Later, when Ray goes to get a camera, Mom reminds him that he only has 2 months left. Ray then gathers all the children for a group photo and secretly tells his friends that he now has everything needed to start the plan. Suspicious of them, Crone searches the room. Gilda sees this and quickly informs the others. The children hide all their things inside the same piggy bank that Crone had already noticed earlier. But Crone feels that something is hidden under the floor, so she starts checking the place again. Just as she reaches into the piggy bank, Mom suddenly appears, and Phil takes the toy from it. After that, Mom tells Crone that she's being transferred immediately. Before leaving, Crone secretly hides something inside the room. At the gate, Crone meets an old woman and a demon. She tells them everything about Mom, but the old woman takes Mom's side and hands Crone over to the demon. The demon then stabs a flower into her chest. Meanwhile, when the children begin working on their escape plan, Ray pretends to argue with Mom to distract her. But Mom understands the trick and locks Ray inside a room. As soon as Mom leaves the house, Dawn runs to help Ray. Ray breaks the door and escapes. Later, Mom catches Emma and Norman near the wall. She tells them that she truly loves the children, which is why she keeps them happy before they die. But Emma refuses to accept this and attacks her. Mom easily defeats Emma and breaks her leg. When everyone gathers there, Mom announces that Norman will be taken away the next morning. Norman becomes sad and says he doesn't want to put his friends' lives in danger. But Emma and Ray refuse to let him give up. Emma asks Ray how he first discovered the truth about Gracefield. Ray explains that he once reached a place called Headquarters, where he saw demons and many other children. From there, he learned that escaping through the main gate of Gracefield is almost impossible. After that, Ray gives Norman a small device that can disable the tracker in his ear. He tells Norman that if he cannot escape immediately, he should hide and wait until Emma's leg heals so that Mom believes he has already escaped. Later, when Norman returns to his room, he opens the drawer beside his bed and finds Crone's pen inside. The next morning during breakfast, Mom announces that Norman will be adopted today. The children look angry because they now know the truth. When everyone goes outside to play, Dawn and Gilda go with Norman toward the fence while Emma and Ray hide in the garden. Norman crosses the fence, throws a rope over the wall, and climbs up. Meanwhile, Mom is playing with the other children. But when she realizes that Norman is missing, she quickly checks the tracker. Just then, Norman suddenly returns from the forest. That night, Norman explains that beyond the wall there is a deep cliff. He draws a map and says there is a bridge that everyone can use to escape. When he returns the device to Ray, he says that he never used it. Emma and Ray then realize the truth. Norman never planned to escape alone. Emma refuses to accept this and begs him to stay. But Mom takes Norman to the gate and sends him away. Soon after, a man who introduces himself as the supervisor meets Norman. He explains that demons need human brains to survive. Norman asks if there are still humans living outside. The supervisor replies that maybe there are. Norman says that there must be someone out there who can help them. The supervisor responds that Norman is a very special child. Back at the orphanage, Emma and Ray feel deeply saddened by Norman's departure. Ray gives the neutralizer device to Dawn and Gilda. Later, Mom visits Emma and tells her that she could choose her for a promotion. One day, Emma could even become a mom herself and avoid becoming food for the demons. She would simply take care of the children, which is her greatest talent. Emma is shocked by the offer, but she knows she cannot betray everyone. Mom believes that her plan has succeeded. 2 months pass. Ray's birthday arrives. That night, Emma, whose leg has now healed, finally meets him. For many days, they couldn't speak freely because Mom was always watching them. Now they both admit that they have never given up on their plan. Emma tells Ray that she had already given Dawn and Gilda important tasks. She also says that they will escape the next day during lunchtime and take all the children with them. But Ray is worried. He says Mom will already be prepared. Then Ray reveals his own plan. He decides to set the house on fire so that Mom and the superiors will think it is an emergency. Ray spreads petrol all over the dining hall. In the end, he even pours petrol on himself. Soon the alarm starts ringing. Mom runs in and checks the tracker, seeing that Ray is inside the fire. She panics. The children run downstairs in fear. Mom tells Gilda to take the children outside while she tries to put out the fire. But the flames have already spread everywhere. Mom starts searching for Emma. That's when Mom realizes the children were not wearing their pajamas, which means they already knew about the plan. Meanwhile, all the children have already reached the forest where Dawn and Gilda had hidden their bags. Ray is also there with them. Earlier, Emma had secretly put out the match before the fire could start. She then made a fake doll and placed Ray's tracker inside it. With great difficulty, she removed the tracker from Ray's ear. Emma then explains to Ray what happened during the last 2 months. Norman had predicted that Ray might try to distract Mom by setting a fire, so he left Emma a letter explaining the real escape plan. Following that letter, Emma is secretly informed Dawn and Gilda and prepared all the children. At the same time, Mom runs after the children, but the younger kids cling to her in fear. She tries to move them away and calls for help. Meanwhile, the children have already reached the wall. Emma is surprised that the headquarters alarm sounded so quickly, but she tells Ray that they are not going toward the bridge. In his letter, Norman had marked a point where the cliff is the narrowest. Dawn throws a rope across that gap and creates a path. One by one, all the children cross the rope. Emma goes last. Just then, Mom arrives and stops her. Mom says that she once wanted to escape too, but she was too afraid and stayed behind. Emma replies that she is not leaving alone and that they will build a new place to live together. Mom threatens to cut the rope. At that moment, memories from her past return, and the truth is revealed. Ray is actually her son. Mom finally lets them go. She returns to the orphanage and apologizes to the younger children. In the forest, Emma takes out the pen that Norman left behind. Inside it is a special device that will guide them to a safe place. The next day, Mom receives her punishment. A demon arrives and places a flower into her chest. Meanwhile, the children climb up a hill and look out toward the new world ahead of them. And with that, the story comes to an end.